that we have. So this is like a version of NFL Live for the people that don't haven't watched. Let's um, let's get into let's get into some topics here. So who's in and who's out? Uh, um, Rams receiver Devontae Adams is expected to play. Uh, Nick Chubb is not expected to play. Uh, Amari Mercado is expected to play. Uh, Emmanuel Wilson and Josh Jacobs are both expected to play. Um, and that's
Oh, breaking news. Rome and
go ahead.
Doomsday. Rome is expected to play today. That's huge.
That
That
is
is
huge. That
huge.
is huge. That's awesome. That's awesome. 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 All right. Um,
Parker Washington's also uh, Amari DiMercado, Josh Palmer, Cedric Tillman, and Debo Samuel are all expected to play. Little fancy advice: I might not start Debo today, just because they said they're gonna give him a shot. So I would not start him.
what do you mean by give him a shot?
I don't know what that means. I just don't like it, so I'm not starting him. No idea
Okay.
what it means.
I think that's a smart play. I think that's a smart play here. All right, let's
Oh,
see.
Quentin Johnston's out too. So is Rashad Bateman.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
some big guys missing.
It looks like Philip Rivers is the starter.
So that's that's huge. Um, because that means that his Hall of Fame clock restarts. He's gonna have to wait another 5 years, isn't
Yep.
it?
He will not be in it until the 2030 or 2031. It's one of the two, which is
Honestly,
crazy to say.
I have to say this. So, I love Philip Rivers, but here's the thing: Philip Rivers is 44, right?
Yeah.
There is someone that is not retired, but is not in the league right now that is kind of upset that he didn't get a phone call. And you know who that is?
Who?
Cam Newton.
I would rather.
Personally,
I think I'd rather have Philip personally.
personally, I'm gonna say that I would rather have Philip Rivers too for a couple of reasons. Philip Rivers has played under Shane Steichen before,
Yeah.
so he knows his system, and he's been with the Colts before, so that's helpful too. Um, and I mean, yes, he might be handing the ball off to, Jonathan Taylor 40 times today, which, in terms of, our, for our fantasy playoffs, which start today, actually, that is kind of awesome for the people that have uh, Jonathan Taylor in their fantasy leagues, which
I got
is
Jonathan
you
Taylor.
in one league. I have him in one league, which is pretty nice. But honestly, like, I mean, if you take care of your body, you could play until you're in your mid 40s as a quarterback. I mean, Tom Brady proved it. Uh, um, uh, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is kind of proving it right now.
Yeah, he's still
Um,
playing good football. He's not Packers Rodgers, which tortured us for 20
20
years.
years,
But
but he's playing football,
yeah,
and it's going well. So, I mean, now am I going to come out and say that I think that Philip Rivers has, 280 yards and 3 passing touchdowns today? No, I'm not going to say that. I think he has
I,
200 yards, a touchdown or two, maybe. But
you want to hear what I think he'll have?
knock
So
yourself out, pal. Knock yourself out.
okay, so this is what I think. So Philip Rivers is either going to pass for 120 yards, no touchdowns, and he's going to throw 2 picks in his first game.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think he could go for, because who are they playing? They're playing the Seahawks. Tough defense.
That is a tough defense. Shit, I didn't realize that.
But
Forgot about that.
but Philip Rivers might. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I could see him pass for 300 with 3 touchdowns. I can see him do that. And here's why I'm saying this. If he does do that, that just proves that these like younger quarterbacks should be able to do that almost every time, in my opinion.
That's true. I didn't think of that. But okay, let me ask you this. You said you gave 2 scenarios. Which one of those scenarios do you think is more likely?
The first one, the 120, no touchdowns, and Jonathan Taylor rushes probably for 2.
I think that is more likely, just because even though Philip Rivers came back, he's only on a week of practice. It's probably going to take him a week to get used to it again, because he'll probably be the starter for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
For some reason, Anthony Richardson has a very weak eye, and Daniel Jones tore his Achilles, which is terrible. I'm so sorry for him, because
he was having a reinsert. He was having the Sam Darnold type of year.
He was having a Sam Darnold year, and literally, man, like if this doesn't happen, if the injury doesn't happen, and Daniel Jones plays healthy for the rest of the year, or healthier, because he did have an injury that was kind of not sidelining him, but limiting him to play to the best of his ability. I mean, he could have gotten a long-term, contract for the Colts.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that he does is the question. I'm not really sure, because of the fact that, he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, he's out for this year and next year.
That's a long. Yeah, he can't do that. So I would say you gotta. So he's gonna be out this year. Daniel Jones. He's gonna
and most of next year.
And probably just all of next year,
depending on how good they are. Yeah.
But I don't know if the Giants, if the Colts will re-sign him. I don't know who would, honestly.
I guess that all depends on how Richardson plays next year. Because I don't think Richardson's coming back this year. He's done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
So it all depends on how he starts off next year, or if they draft a quarterback. Never know.
True. That's true. I mean, honestly, like until Daniel Jones went down, I didn't think that Colts would have to draft a quarterback. But now I think they do.
Yeah. I also, do you think Philip plays next year too, or no? Depending on how he plays. Because say he goes out for the next 4 weeks and just or three.
I will admit the Colts are probably desperate to have a stability at quarterback. So it's a discussion worth thinking about for sure.
Or do you think the Bears trade Bagent to the Colts?
That that's actually an interesting uh, scenario, because honestly, when you think about it, uh, the agent signed a 2-year extension for $10 million, so that's not really expensive for the Colts.
No.
And I would say that he's better than Richardson and at least younger than Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, I think he's got like less than 20 years on Philip. A little under 20, like 20 years.
And I mean, with him being younger, his arm is going to be, more. He could probably throw it farther than Phillip Rivers. Not
Yeah.
saying that Phillip Rivers can't throw it far. I'm just saying that he might be able to get a ball somewhere faster than Phillip.
I am excited to see sidearm Philip again.
That is going to be cool. I mean, the Colts are playing the Seahawks. You said today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if Daniel Jones didn't get hurt, that would be one of my candidates for game of the week. But when I'm looking at the game of the week, or when I'm looking to find a game of the week here on ESPN Fantasy Cast, because that's the only way I can figure out what is the game of the week.
I'm between 3.
There's okay. You give your 3 first, and then I'll pick 3.
Okay. Well, obviously, there's Lions Rams. That could be a
That
very
was one
good
of mine.
game.
That was one of mine.
There's Bills Pats,
Okay, that was my second.
and then I think there's 4. Chargers Chiefs could be a very good game, depending on how the quarterbacks play. And then this one's another one, depending on how the quarterbacks play. Ravens Bengals.
Okay, so I would honestly have 2 of the same with you. I would have the Bills Patriots and the Rams and Lions. My other 2 are, you know what? No, I'd have the Chiefs and Chargers with you too. But my other one that you didn't mention, and I hate that I'm about to say this.
I didn't mention it because I hate that I wanted to say it. I know
I'm gonna
exactly
say
what you're
it. It's
going.
the Packers and Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean,
And can we talk about how disrespectful it is to the Broncos that they're underdogs at their home place?
that is criminal. And I'm gonna say it. I do give the edge to the Broncos. I don't care. I don't care. And yes, you see me in the Bears jersey. You see the virtual background of Caleb and Rome. But I am not joking with you people. That is bias aside. I am not like honing into my Bears bias here. The Broncos have a way better defense than the Packers. I don't care about Micah Parsons because Micah Parsons didn't get a sack against the Bears last week.
The Broncos' run game has been better. RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins are, as a duo, playing better than Josh Jacobs and whoever is there.
J.K. Dobbins isn't even playing. He's hurt.
Still, RJ Harvey's a dog. Like, their run game this year statistically has been better besides Josh Jacobs' touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the only thing. And Bo Nix doesn't lose in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's true.
So no matter what, it's going to be a close game. But
I'm gonna give the edge to the Broncos. I don't care.
Giving me 2.5 points against the Packers, and I think the Broncos are going to win by at least 3 to 7 points. Give me that all day. I'm putting money on that.
Well, you can't necessarily.
I can, but I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, when you look at the other games, there's not like a game that stands out. I mean, you know, the last couple weeks, there's always been like a good team playing a good team that would be the actual great matchup. And honestly, I'm gonna say it. If it was with Daniel Jones, that game would be the Colts and Seahawks.
You know, it's another sneaky game that you're not going to agree with me, but could be a high scoring game.
Say it.
The Jets Jags. There's always that one game that we think's a toilet bowl game that just scores a bunch of points.
Okay, well then let me ask you this. You said that could be a sneaky game. What
Mhm.
is your candidate for toilet bowl game of the week?
Just because I think it's going to be so one sided. Titans 49ers.
That actually might be a good choice.
Because I don't think Panthers Saints is going to be a toilet bowl game. I think that's going to be a sneaky good game as well. Because the
Okay.
Saints are putting up points. Panthers are winning games they shouldn't be winning. So I don't know. There's not that much like bad games. Obviously, I think the Colts Seahawks could be a toilet bowl game. I think that also could be very one sided depending on how Phillip plays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's Giants Commanders. There's probably going to be 40 points put up on those defenses. So I don't know. And then obviously Jets Jags could be a sneaky good game, but also could be the toilet bowl game.
Sure. So I mean, if I
And
had to
I'm gonna
say,
say that I'm gonna say this just because how cold it's gonna be there. The Browns Bears could be a bad game, just because it's gonna be so cold.
well, you know, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I think in actuality, I think it could be a bad passing game. I think it could be a great running game,
Yeah, yeah.
but but I I want Caleb to get 200, but I am just prepared for him not to, honestly.
That'd be
Um,
something.
but it's funny. I saw a um a a tweet like or a TikTok like right before starting this that talked about the last time that Caleb and Shadur Sanders matched up in college. USC ended up winning, but it was a back and forth game all game. Like their passing yards were huge. Like, but it was in
That
college.
that was it.
It was in college and it was in Colorado, but it was in the early college part of the season, so it was warm in Colorado. So I don't I can agree with you. I don't want to coin it toilet bowl game of the week for the Bears because
Yeah,
we can't. I mean, this is on our podcast. This is on every other platform that we can stream to now, and this is on a live for our podcast too. So
yeah. But I'm just saying it could be. I don't think it's going to be. I just said because of the weather.
no, I agree with you. Now, now going into the next topic, favorite games of the week. Um, I'm gonna put the Bears and Browns game on there because I'm a Bears fan because we're Bears fans. Um, I do genuinely like the Bills and Patriots game. In fact, I'm gonna come out and say this, and I will say this again when Ben comes on later on. That that game that game should be Sunday night or Monday night.
It's just because they have Sunday night next week. The Patriots.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying. I mean, I personally believe that's better than the Vikings and Cowboys or Dolphins and Steelers. I mean,
I actually don't mind the Vikings Cowboys game.
Why? Can you?
Just because I think there's going to be a lot of points in that game. I think the Cowboys win, but I think there's just going to be a lot of points, so I don't mind that at all.
So I like the Browns and Bears game for my favorites. The Bills Patriots. I'm gonna say it, but I will say this before. I do imagine the Broncos winning. I do like the Broncos and Packers game. That is a good game. The Lions and Rams, and even though I think the Colts will lose, I do like the Seahawks and Colts game. But what are your favorite games for this week, Michael?
Yeah. I like the Bengals Ravens game. I think that's going to be a very good game. I actually really, really like, for some reason, I love this Panthers Saints game because the Panthers could be number one in the division.
That is true. Yeah.
So I like that game just for the Panthers' sake. I have a weird feeling the Saints win this one. I don't know why. And then I said it
Well, they need
earlier.
some
I
wins.
don't.
I mean, they're at what 3.
Yeah. And I said this earlier. I don't mind the Vikings Cowboys game. I think there's just going to be a lot of points, and that's mainly just because I have a lot of Cowboys in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So I. Oh, we forgot to say this game for the toilet bowl game. I think the Giants Commanders game is terrible.
Well, with Jane Daniels out, and I mean, the Giants are going to be searching for a new head coach at the end of the year. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's whenever you have an interim, you're underdogs every game the rest of the season because they just don't. The Vegas doesn't believe that interims can become the long-term option, which actually was technically buffed because for at least a year, Anthony Pierce was the full-time head coach for the Raiders. It didn't work, but he did get a shot. But I also will say this: I could totally see Pete Carroll being a one and done in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean that he's 70. He's not. He hasn't been the greatest.
But here's my thing with that. Player, you have looked and searched for a coach for the last 5 years. It's insane. Like you've gone through like 5 coaches in the last like 7 or 8 years. It's insane. Like I just like, and there's no Ben Johnson or huge head coaching candidate that everyone wants to get in this cycle, or at least to my knowledge. I mean,
No, I don't know one off the top of my head, but
the like hotshot offensive coordinator that I could name for you guys, for the viewers, that all 29 of you watching, and let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. But my top notch offensive coordinator option would be Clint Kubiak from the Seahawks, because he's doing great things in Seattle. And yes, he would be a first-time head coach, but there's one reason why I believe that he would be a great head coach. And let's see what so this is from Christy. She mentioned there are definitely no coaches that has caught teams' attention this year. Christy, I completely agree with you. But let me go into why I think that Clint Kubiak might be a good option for the teams that are looking for a offensive-minded head coach next year. So yes, he's going to be a first-time head coach, but Clint Kubiak is the son of Gary Kubiak. So technically, his dad could help him build a quality coaching staff. And I've said this for the last forever, ever since I started my podcast. A head coach is only as good as his staff around him.
Yeah.
So it's very important when you are, going to the hot shot, coaching candidate, whoever it may be. But I agree with Christy saying that there's no coach that has caught the attention of teams this year. It's imperative that in order to make sure that you are successful, you build the best staff possible. And if Clint Kubiak gets a head coaching shot somewhere, I definitely believe that he will ask his dad to help him build a staff, because Gary Kubiak was one of the great head coaches during his era of football, which was, I believe, in the 70s or 80s.
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I'd look that up right now, but I don't want to not talk while I'm looking it up. So,
Yeah. I'm making a parlay, a Bears parlay
if
right
anyone
now.
in the comments wants to help me out and figure out when Gary Kubiak was coaching, and put it in the comment section, that would be very helpful. But let's see. So fantasy playoffs do start this week. And it's a good time to discuss, who are you guys starting or sitting. I'm going to come out and say this. I would start anyone that's on the Rams. I would start anyone that's on the Rams.
I would start anyone who's on the Rams or the Lions. That's going to be a huge game.
That is going to be a huge game. I don't think that it's going to be a Rams and Chiefs 2018 scoring game where they scored 106 points, I think, because it was 54-52 in favor of the Rams, right? The Rams won, right? Or was it the Rams won?
I think the Rams won.
Yeah, I could still see 80 points being scored in this game. I won't say 100, but it's going to be close. I do believe that. I mean, for the first couple of weeks of Dan Campbell's tenure as calling the plays, it didn't look like it was working to the best of the ability. But sometimes those things just take time. And now their record may be a little bit worse than last year, but they're still a very good football team.
Yeah. Another, I'm not sitting Hurts. I know he lost people games last week. I'm still not sitting him.
I'm sorry, but I am.
It's the Raiders. They're not a good team. If there's a game
here's the thing.
that's going to happen where he gets 40.
My other quarterback is Caleb, and I want to play Caleb.
See, I wouldn't do that. Just because how cold it's going to be in the Bears game.
You know what?
If you're going to do it, if you're going to do it, do it. If you don't switch it now, I wouldn't switch it now because you always know that's the worst beat in fantasy. I did that for Devonta Smith and Diggs when Devonta Smith had 33 and then Diggs had 10. I put Diggs in over Devonta Smith.
I don't know. Should I do it? Oh God.
But there's also someone. Obviously, you're not starting Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Everyone's starting Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but if you're worried about Phillip, don't be worried because Phillip does a lot of checkdowns. You saw that with Austin Eckler. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, who are a lot of people? Oh, I said this at the start. I'm
Uh-huh.
not starting Debo.
That's a good. Yeah, I wouldn't
Not
start
starting
Debo either.
Debo. I know he's either 20 or 10. I'm not starting him.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually starting Diggs in almost every league I have him in. Because last time he played the Bills, he had 24 fantasy points. So
Uh-huh.
I kind of just think he's going to have another one of those games, or he has to have one of those games if they want to win. So
Oh, I guess on the in the league that I do have Hurts, I actually have the bye because um
then put Caleb in. Destroy the bye. Destroy the bye.
yeah, I guess. So, yeah, so I'm good. I'm good.
But
Um
who else am I starting? I know he's questionable, but I'm still starting Ferguson. He is expected to play. So
uh-huh.
I wanted to pick up Pitts because I
That
saw.
would have been a huge pickup for you, man.
Yeah, but you know what happened? He got dropped on Wednesday, and you can't pick him up till Friday because it
Oh,
has to
Ben's
take
here. Ben's here.
a
Yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah, it does have to take a day.
There
How
he
you doing,
is.
Ben?
How's it going, guys?
He's not at work. Look at him.
Nope.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, we've gone, through pretty much all of the topics, but I mean, you know, we talked about who's in, who's out. Philip Rivers being the starter for probably the rest of the season. Games of the week, toilet bowl game of the week, favorite game of the week, which I
We all
will.
we all put your game. Don't worry.
I did. Yeah, I did put your game in there. I will admit, I do. Oh no, you're the Patriots fan, so I do think the Patriots will have the upper hand in that game, but the Bills will fight. I do believe that,
Oh yeah, definitely.
but
Yeah.
I imagine the Patriots coming out on top there.
I have Diggs started in the fantasy playoffs, so I need another big game from him. He had 24 against the Pats or against
Yeah.
the Bills last time.
He'll be motivated for sure, especially with the division on the line. I feel like he'll come out firing against the team that kind of put him to the curb.
So I mean, aside from your game with the Bills and Patriots,
hmm
what, because you're a Patriots fan, it's obviously going to be coined your favorite game of the week. But aside from that, aside from your fandom game,
Yeah.
what is your favorite game of this week?
Oh man, I like the Packers Broncos game. I think that game.
That was one of my four.
I
Other three were
Lions Rams is also very
Lions, Rams,
That was
yeah,
my one. That was my one.
Chiefs and Chargers, and your game, and then I did say the Broncos Packers.
I
Yeah.
said a sneaky game. I don't know why. I know Nick's not gonna like this. I already said it. He's probably commenting already about it. But the Jets.
I can
Jags.
see the comments. There's no comment in here about
Okay,
it.
good. But I said Jets Jags to be very sneaky good or very very bad.
It tends to be a lot of the games that specifically are bad record teams. Like I feel the Commanders Giants game could definitely be interesting to be for sure because Commanders definitely could score offensively. It's just their defense stinks, kind of like the Giants. To be fair.
Well, here's the other thing. What's Jaden Daniels is not playing again. He's out today.
But Mariota stepped in against the Broncos, and he almost carried them to a win in overtime. I mean, he played really well.
That's true. That's true. I keep forgetting that Mariota and Jaden Daniels freakishly have very similar skill sets.
Yeah, I mean
the spread.
Every
the
game
spread, by the
Mariota
way,
start, he's thrown for over 250 yards. So
the spread of the Bills pass game, the Bills went up to 2.5 now, which I find very interesting. Probably with the weather, maybe. I don't know.
But still, the Pats are a cold state team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
I
the
don't
battle.
understand that.
It's the battle. I mean, it. I don't know if it's snowing in your guys' area, but it's snowing like crazy here.
It's. I
It's
mean,
not
it might not
snowing,
be
but it's
snowing, but
-10.
it
right
is
now.
frigidly cold.
And
In
it's even
fact,
colder in Soldier.
Yeah.
The Bears issued a statement, like in their app or in their like Twitter, that said fans cannot bring cardboard boxes to sit on. Which, first of all, let me just come out and say it. I don't understand why fans would want to bring cardboard boxes to sit on.
No, like what did you want? What did you want? Like a little cushion or something? I don't know.
But for the people that do that, all the power to you people, I guess.
I just want to know why.
Yeah, I want to know why. Like, why is
They're
that
not comfy. They're not that comfy.
I mean, I understand. Like, so me and my dad, we went to the Saints and Bears game, a Bears and Saints game, week 7, and my dad, had to sit in in a foldable chair, but it was still more comfortable than sitting on a cardboard box.
It might be for like the cold, but still, wouldn't a cardboard box get cold?
But also, me and my dad, we sat right behind the goalpost. Like, have you ever sat in the student section, Ben? When you were in college, did you ever sit in the student section for football games?
I was broadcasting, so I was pretty much in the booth for what I did.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, the student section is basically like right where the handicap section for the Bears is at Soldier Field. So like you could see the whole field, you could see all of the whole game. Like, yes, it was better when the Bears were coming our direction and scoring, but like still you could see everything happen, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I sat in the handicap section for the Ole Miss LSU game back in 2019, just because my dad bought season tickets because my brother went to Ole Miss, and he didn't realize he bought season tickets in the handicap spot. But
I'm not gonna say anything, but I want to say something.
They were nice seats. I'm not gonna lie. They were right on the end zone.
Yeah,
that's right of the goalpost. It was great. I saw Joe Burrow run for a touchdown. I saw Clyde run for a touchdown.
That's sick.
Jefferson had a touchdown right in front of us.
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine being part of that LSU team?
Was Jamar playing also?
Yes, Jamar did. I don't think did he score? No, I think Jefferson had 2 that game. I think that was a Jefferson game. Could be wrong though. I don't know. But no, that was sick. Handicap spots are nice. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no, he didn't realize he bought them.
That happens.
He just thought he got really good seats.
Well, your dad might want to check his sources.
Yeah, no, we stopped doing it after that year because he didn't want to mess up again.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just messing around.
No, yeah, I know, but
I mean, I want to like who don't you trust in your fantasy playoffs, Ben? Because I asked Michael this, and he talked about who he didn't. And you just got here, so I want to ask you who you don't trust. Like, who are you benching during your fantasy football playoffs if you made the playoffs in any of your leagues?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, for specifically our league, I had last week I played Nick and I
Which
had
one, to clarify, because there's a couple Nicks in our league.
Nick D.
Okay.
And it was the week that Pats were on bye. So a lot of the points specifically that I had a lot of the season were from the Pats with Drake and Trevion.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and it wasn't a knock on CJ, but CJ was playing against the Chiefs, and Sunday Night Football, and he's just been very up and down. So, and Nick, obviously, he had JSN, who always seems to always just put up like 25 plus every week, which I'm not shocked about. And then he had Jahmyr Gibbs, who put up like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That same week, he had like 38 points in that game against Dallas. So basically even before Sunday, I was already like, oh shoot, like Jahmyr pretty much already has 40 alone, and like Baker, I don't know if he had Baker or not, but you didn't really get much from Baker, but everybody else was just crazy. So
yeah, I didn't. I have Baker in one of my fantasy leagues because I'm in I'm in 4 or 5 probably, but they're all on the same app, so it's pretty easy to edit lineups. So that's why I do so many, because they're just on the same app. But I mean, I'm trusting anyone that's on the Rams, anyone that's on the Lions, anyone that's on the Seahawks, I would trust. People I wouldn't trust.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't say this guy. I'm not trusting Amari and Hampton.
That's a good one. Ben got out of here. Something must have happened. Let me message him to see if everything's all right. I'm sure it is, but I want to make sure that he's.
Yeah, but
back.
like I didn't say that. Yeah, Amari and Hampton, I'm not trusting. I'm playing him in the league.
Sure. Yeah.
But just because that Chiefs run defense is very good, they stopped Jonathan Taylor to 50 yards. So
come on in.
So it all depends, but and you still don't know what Herbert you're going to get.
Good
with that with the fraction or the surgery he had.
Yeah, so. Right. Here's Ben. Here's Ben. So he's back. All right.
Sorry, I just transferred my phone to my laptop here.
Okay, gotcha. I thought that's what you were doing, but you wanted to make sure that you were. I actually was starting to message you just to make sure that you were good, because you were popped out without warning. So, let's see. If I go into my, yeah, I don't know.
I just really want to quickly say something regarding the Bills-Pats game, and it's not something specifically about the game, but I just want to send my prayers out to Brown University. They obviously, unfortunately, had a terrible shooting that happened last night, and the Bills stay in Providence, which is about 30 minutes outside of Foxborough, and Providence is where Brown is. So they were basically about within 5 to 10 miles of where the Bills specifically were staying, essentially about 5 to 10 miles where the shooting was last night. So everybody specifically was safe. But obviously, that did happen, unfortunately. And I just wanted to just quickly say that really quickly because, it obviously probably did affect people, especially like Bills obviously coming in. But now today it's all business. But I just want to quickly say that because.
Why do the Bills stay so far away?
Well, it's actually closer. Providence is closer to Foxborough than Boston is to Foxborough. So Providence is probably about 25, 30 minutes out. Because I've actually been to the Providence hotels where the away teams stay at. Like there was a year where, in 2019, when the Bills played the Pats and I was there, it was a Saturday night game, and I took an Amtrak in from Bridgeport, which is a city next to me. It's Providence, and when I got out of the Amtrak station, I was walking past the Bills buses, essentially where the hotel was.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so like I could see like Bills bus number one or something. It was obviously still really early on the day, but yeah, like that's essentially kind of mostly where it's the Omni in Providence downtown. So
Gotcha.
that's really usually stay. It's not crazy far, but
So you went to go see one of Brady's last games then?
I was at Brady's last home win
Oh, you were?
as a Patriot.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I was at the last game in 2019. I put a picture actually on Slack. I was with my cousin from Cape Cod. And,
Yeah, I saw that photo.
And that game specifically was, I mean, besides Mahomes Brady, that definitely was by far the most electrifying game I've been at.
Mahomes Brady, that was 2018, right?
Sunday Night Football. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
That was 43-40. Tyreek had 3 touchdowns. No, 3 or 2 touchdowns.
I don't know. It seems like whenever Tyreek was going off, it was always 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was the year Mahomes had his 50 touchdown year.
Yeah,
so it was absolutely electric. So
Sure. Oh yeah.
I lost my voice. That night. I went back to college. Had no.
I'm not surprised by that. Not surprised by that, pal.
I was fine with it because we won. So.
Well, everyone should be fine with it in that situation. But before Michael gets out of here, I want to ask him. What bets would you make for today?
Okay. I got 2 going right now. I got the long shot, and then I got my Bears one that I do every week. So my long shot's a touchdown one. 6 touchdowns. I did Diggs, Nico Collins, ETN, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, and Colston Loveland.
Okay, I like it.
In my Bears one, I doubled up on Colston Loveland touchdown.
So wait, you think he'll get 2 touchdowns?
No, it's just a double up. So I put him in one parlay, so I'm putting him in the other one.
Okay.
So anytime touchdown.
Okay, now I get it. Okay.
Then I did Monungai touchdown. I did Caleb and Shador to go over 170 because they were plus odds for 170 yards.
Okay.
I know it's cold, but I do think there's going to be
170 is not that much.
Yeah. And then I did Rome and Luther 25 plus receiving yards. Bears money line, and Harold Pham Jr., the tight end, for 40. Because it seems like Shador loves him.
Well, when you're a rookie quarterback, it is advised to go to your tight end a lot. I like those.
Yeah.
I like those. I hope at least some of those hit. I would love the Bears ones to hit for sure.
Well, I would love all of them to hit personally.
Oh, of course you would. If I'm being honest, I'm not the guy that necessarily likes to bet. If I do, I'll bet like $5. I'm not.
Yeah, I only did 5. That's all I do. $5.
We got a comment here. Let me see. Oh, okay, that doesn't apply to us. I'm not gonna place any bets because I don't have a lot of money, and since we left Novig, which was our sponsor, I just take it as a sign and not bet anymore. So
yeah.
And I don't want to lose money, even if it is just $5. So
yeah, I only bet what I'm willing to lose.
That's
I'm willing to lose $5. So if it's $5, I have a chance to win 200. I'll do it. That's like I don't do $5 to win 10. Right? I don't really care about that, you know. But
sure, yeah. What about you, Ben? Do you have any bets that you would make?
I haven't made any yet, but I'm trying to see if I'll make one now.
yeah, but all right, y'all. I'm gonna head out.
All
You
right.
guys have
All right,
fun.
pal, I wanted to make sure that you got to say your bets. So
Yeah, I did them at the start, like when we were starting. So, but yeah, you guys have fun.
Yep.
Let's go Bears. Hopefully the Pats win with Diggs scoring 1 touchdown. He just needs 1
Thank you, bro.
for
I
the
hope
parlay.
so.
For the parlay and
That's
for
what division
fantasy.
today.
Yeah, it's for the division and everything. The Bears game is actually they could retake 1 if the Packers lose. So
which against the Broncos is totally possible.
yeah, there's 2 totally possible win. Like the Bears could win and the Packers could lose. So let's
Well,
get it.
pal, good luck with your basketball game.
Good luck.
I hope you don't, get stuck in traffic because of the snow, all that stuff. So drive safe, pal.
Yeah, it
And-
should be good. I don't think it's gonna snow here. So, but
But-
all right, y'all.
All
all right, see ya.
Later.
See ya.
All right, then we've got about 40 minutes until the 1:00 slate kicks off, and we've gone through all the topics, but you and I can figure out some stuff to talk about because we love football. So, I mean, so Drake May is playing like an MVP candidate, but I don't know if he'd win it. He might get votes for sure, but I don't think he's gonna, outledge guys like
Stafford.
Stafford.
Allen.
Stafford should be and probably is the favorite to win it because he's gonna get like 45 touchdowns. I'm gonna come out and say that right now. He has 35 right now. He's got 3,500 yards, something like that. How many yards does he have?
Stafford.
Yeah, how many yards does Stafford have?
Stafford right now. Let's see. Stafford has 3,354 passing yards.
Okay, he's got 4 games left, and they are against.
The Rams have. Let's see here.
Thank you.
I got
Thank
you.
you.
All right. They got home against the Lions today. At
Okay.
Seattle, a short week next week, which will obviously be really, really good. Really, really tough, but really, really good game.
Sure. Agreed.
At Atlanta on Monday Night Football. So back-to-back non-Sunday games for the Rams. And then their last game is home against the Cardinals, which they should be.
So it's the Lions.
Lions
the
today, at Seattle, at Atlanta, and the Cardinals. So realistically, they should
two out of their 4 final games are pretty easy.
Yeah.
The hardest ones, are the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then
today and next week.
Yeah, those will be the close ones. Those will be pretty much a pick.
But then the Falcons and Cardinals. I mean, personally, Stafford could throw 800 in total. I'm sorry, 800 in total against the Cardinals and the the Cardinals and
Atlanta.
Thank you.
Yep.
They're both red, so I'm blanking on red teams right now. So, but man, I mean, Stafford is going to be the favorite. I do believe that Josh Allen will also get votes. I don't think that he'll win it, but he will get votes. I think Drake May should get votes. There's an argument that Jonathan Taylor should get MVP votes. If he doesn't, he's not going to win MVP because the MVP goes to a quarterback 11 out of 10 times. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you that the position that the award that Jonathan Taylor could win, Offensive Player of the Year for sure. And my second guy behind Taylor to win Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith-Njigba, because that kid. Now, of course, he has had some duds, this season. But the games that he doesn't have duds, he has 150 and 2 touchdowns. He has crazy stat lines when he doesn't have a bad game. Like, it's insane. Comeback Player of the Year might be Phillip Rivers.
We'll see about that. I mean,
you know what? If it's not Phillip Rivers, it should be Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
that one's more realistic. I just said Phillip Rivers because he came out of retirement, and last year when Joe Flacco came out of retirement, he was given Comeback Player of the Year. So that's why I just thought of Phillip Rivers. But I also read a tweet about Phillip Rivers that said, I mean, when he was practicing with the Colts this past week, no ball hit the ground in terms of when he was passing. So who knows? Maybe he has some Terminator in him or something. I don't know. I don't know. That it was just a little fun snippet there with the Terminator. But what else could we talk about? I mean, I'm not going to make a banner or anything for it, but let's see. No, that's not NFL. You got anything? Any suggestions?
I think it's going to be a really exciting slate. I think today, compared to last week.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't watch any of this because there is a great, it's a great first slate of games, in my personal opinion. I mean, you go, I mean, besides the Browns and Bears game, I mean, there's Ravens Bengals. That should be a good game if the quarterback can play well. Personally, I will still give the edge to Joe Burrow right now over Lamar Jackson because something is clearly wrong with him. I mean, Chargers and Chiefs should be a good game. Bills and Patriots, we've mentioned. So that's 3 games during the 1 o'clock slate that are very good. And then when I mean, if you think about it, Jets and Jaguars could either be a good game or a terrible game. But then when you get to the 325 slate, there's Packers, Broncos, Rams and Lions, Colts and Seahawks, depending on what Phillip Rivers shows up today. We'll see. I think it's going to be the one that's shaking off the rust of retirement. I imagine him having a lackluster game today. I could see him more just handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor and relying on him, which I still 100% back because Jonathan Taylor is crazy good. I mean, but here's my thing. I do not like the Sunday night or Monday night games this week. I mean,
Monday could be interesting because there is a little bit of playoff implication, but the Sunday night game doesn't make any sense. Like, put specifically a game Sunday night tonight with some implications, whether it's obviously Bills Pats, whether it's Packers Broncos, whether
I
it's
personally believe that it's criminal that Bills Pats isn't a Sunday night game or a Monday night game.
well, it's because we're on Sunday night next week. They essentially that's what they did. They decided to.
Okay, who are you guys playing next week?
We're in Baltimore, so we have really tough back-to-back games.
Honestly, I mean, I don't necessarily think that that's. I mean, it's a better game than what's on Sunday night tonight. But I mean, I think you could kick the shit out of the Ravens, in my personal opinion.
Well, the way the Ravens are playing, I don't know. I feel like it'll be tough, but you know,
But you're playing something is wrong with Lamar Jackson. Something is definitely wrong.
definitely.
You know, we don't know because he's played in every game. You know, or besides like one or two this year, which one of them was the Bears game. We somehow still lost to a backup, which still hurts me. But like there were times, this year where, Lamar would usually take off and run, and he hasn't because of the fact that something is wrong with him. We don't know what that is, but there is something. There is something.
Yep.
So I just want to know, like, why hasn't he come out and said, "Oh, I have a PCL strain or I have a fractured ankle or something that is making me not run the ball as often as I used to," because it's obviously something with his legs. Otherwise, he would still be running the ball.
Yeah, I agree. And I haven't. I mean, in terms of Lamar as a passer, I think he's always been, to me, very inconsistent. When he's at his best, I feel like specifically he throws really well, off script and stuff. That's kind of how he is, kind of like, Josh and Patrick. But Lamar, obviously, he's just kind of more of a dynamic, runner specifically. That's kind of really when he's playing at his best. He's not running as much as he used to. He's taking a lot more sacks. Just something's going on.
Something's going on. We don't know, but something's going on. Well, we got 26 minutes, and we got to figure out stuff to talk about for the next 26 minutes because I don't want to end this before we're supposed to end, which is usually at 1 o'clock, not before, because we usually do start at 11 o'clock and not 10:30. But our buddy Zan, who works for the podcast network that we work for, was sick this morning, so it was offered to us to take over his slate from 10:30 to 11, and I was like, sure. It's a little extra time. I just didn't think that we would go through all the topics in an hour. But now that I think about it, we do only usually get an hour, and we're usually done talking by 11 or 12:58 or something like that when the red zone usually pops up. But
Yep.
can't watch red zone anymore, which really sucks because this would be one day where it would be pretty awesome to watch at least the 1 o'clock slate with you guys. But now I can watch the Bears game with volume, so I will admit that's kind of nice because I would have the Bears game on in the background for the last certain amount of weeks that we've been watching on playback, and I'd have it on mute or very low because of the fact that I didn't want my computer or my microphone to pick up
what red zone had
the game. Well, no, I didn't want my microphone to pick up my TV volume.
Yeah.
Background. I mean, I guess we could go into something like this I mean, we don't know how many teams are going to be looking for new head coaches yet, besides the teams that have been fired already. But so the teams that have been fired already are the Titans and the Giants. Here are some teams that I could see definitely moving on from their coaches. I think Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins are one. And if you do that, I'm sorry for possible Dolphin fans that are watching this. If you move on from Mike McDaniel, you gotta move on from Tua. You gotta move on from Tua.
The problem is that Tua has such a big contract that it's really hard to basically offset specific. They're going to have to take a lot of dead cap specifically. They want to move on from Tua.
I understand that, but I mean, can you risk hiring possibly? Well, you'd probably go defense after a failed offensive experience with Mike McDaniel. So I would bet that they would go defensive minded. But here's the thing: one of the defensive minded head coaches or head coach candidates that might be out there is Brian Flores, and he already failed once. So you can't have him on the list because that would be terrible. You firing your one of your last head coaches and then rehiring him, that won't work. But this another one that I could definitely see, which is Pete Carroll and the Raiders. I hate that could be a one and done experience because the problem is the Raiders just have not had continuity with their head coaches, and that is something that probably Pete Carroll emphasized in his interview. I will be here for longer than 1 year, and it doesn't seem that way. But at the same time, there is a possibility of him getting one more year, but his head coach contract is only a 3-year contract. So, and he's 74. He's pretty old. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent contract for him. The Cardinals could be an option because Gannon just doesn't seem to know what he's doing. Let me look on Fantasy Cast so I can actually see what the teams are. I could see the Bengals. I could see the Browns also. What are your thoughts on this one, Ben? What do you think about the Commanders? Because they were very good last year, and they're now a 3-win football team. Now it does it doesn't help that your quarterback was injured for most of the year, but my thing is Dan Quinn. I'm sorry, I almost said Campbell. Dan Quinn, turned around the franchise last year and made them a. How many wins did they have? 11.
They were in the NFC title game, so
they had a lot.
Let's see here. Commanders 20, 24.
It had to be 11.
Record.
Because they picked
12-5. That was Commanders last year.
12-5, and now they're 3-10. So complete flip of the script from last year.
I mean, to be fair though, they've had it. They haven't been consistently healthy the whole entire season.
No, yeah, that is.
Jaden Daniels really hasn't had a stretch of football in which he has been able to stay on the field, and I think that specifically a lot of the games pretty much changes a lot. Their defense also, I felt like took a massive step back this year. Their
Oh,
secondary just
sure.
was not good at all. And yeah, just their Terry was out for a lot of the year. He was obviously the number one guy. So if you're without obviously your number one quarterback, your number one receiver, it's really tough. I mean, Mariota obviously is a very good backup. He's a serviceable starter, but you shouldn't be banking on him to be your long-term guy specifically.
No, you shouldn't. Absolutely.
And yeah, just Commanders just this year were how they were 2 years ago, in which they kind of had a lot of pieces, but whether it was injuries or just kind of flaws here and there, they just really never kind of really put it all together this year. Do I feel like specifically they could kind of get back to what they were last year? Of course. If they got a healthy Jaden Daniels, they got a healthy Terry McLaurin, and Zach Ertz, obviously he's been out for a little while too. He's their number one tight end.
Yeah, but he's going to be out for pretty much the next year. He tore his ACL.
They've been plug and playing with their running backs, so like pretty much the whole entire way, like their specialist guys offensively, been banged up. So it's really hard to get yourself really through a rhythm the whole entire season. That's one thing about the Pats. I mean, knock on wood so far this year, is offensively a lot of the guys have been able to stay healthy. So, health comes a massive play when it comes to having long-term success throughout the season, having long-term success if you want to make a run in the postseason, and obviously if you want to get to the Super Bowl. So there's obviously a lot of factors when it comes to, having a good season. Of course, health is one of them.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree with you. I mean, is there a world where you see possibly where Dan Quinn gets fired and they just promote Cliff Kingsbury to head coach? Out of curiosity.
I don't think so. I think that Dan Quinn is still really a big piece to what they do offensively and defensively. Dan Quinn's still, I think, very good.
He actually has taken over defensive play calling, so that is true. Do you think there's a world where Cliff Kingsbury gets a head coach job elsewhere?
Yeah, sure. I think there's going to be a lot of suitors that are going to be for him. He's a very good offensive-minded head coach, so I do think there's going to be a lot of teams and players that are out for him.
Yeah, I mean, if so, there's two open right now. I could imagine there being like 7 or 8 open by the offseason. I mean, I could imagine the Cardinals doing it. The Titans and the
Browns.
The Titans have already done it. The Giants have already done it. The Browns is a good one. I do think that that's a possibility. The Dolphins, I think, should definitely consider it.
How about Jacksonville? Bringing Kingsbury in with Liam Cohen to help with Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that would be awesome. Yeah, you would have two offensive-minded head coaches. I mean, really to go more really to that next level.
See, here's my problem with that. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I do like that idea to get two offensive-minded coaches in there, but that's just a lateral move for Kingsbury because he's already offensive coordinator for the Commanders, and most likely, if this were to happen in a hypothetical situation, I do believe that Liam Cohen would still want to be play caller.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people make the lateral move, their reasoning for taking that lateral move is because they were given the opportunity to play call. And Cliff Kingsbury already does that, and if that was taken away from him, he's just a glorified pass game coordinator.
Right.
I don't think it's a bad idea to at least consider that, but me personally, I think what you suggested is a hypothetical. I don't think it happens, but we'll see, man. I don't know. I mean, there always seems to be like, in every head coach search or cycle, there always seems to be like one team that you don't expect to fire a head coach. And I'll tell you, a team that I put on the list for one that no one should expect but could happen. The Steelers. And it's not necessarily because of the fact that Mike Tomlin is a bad coach. It's because he needs a change of scenery somewhere. I don't know where that would be, but I could totally see the Steelers moving on just because of the fact that Tomlin wants to move on. But I have to applaud the Steelers for something. In their whole tenure of being an NFL franchise, they've had 3 head coaches, something like that. It's been Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher, right? And then
Okay, yeah.
Who was the first?
And Steelers?
Yeah. Why do I want to say Bundy for some reason? I don't think that's right, but
Chuck Noll.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Well, they had Buddy. They had Tony Dungy. They had. I'm just looking at a lot of the ones they had. Obviously, Cowher and Tomlin are the last 2.
How many coaches have they actually had in their franchise history?
In the franchise?
Yeah. Because it's not a lot. It's like
they've had 16.
That's like one of the smallest lists, right?
Yep.
Because there's teams with like 30 or 40. I don't know where the Bears are, but I believe they're in the 30s or high 20s if they're not in the 30s yet. But I could look that up.
Yep.
Ben Johnson. Let's see. Bears. Let's see. Wow. No, Ben Johnson was named head coach of the Chicago Bears on January 21st, 2025. Johnson is the 18th full-time head coach in the franchise's 106-year history. Really, 18th? Why do I feel like our list is so much longer? Well, it's pretty obvious. We just suck so much that I feel like we have a longer list of head coaches.
Right.
But there are definitely teams that have longer lists of head coaches than 16 or 18. I don't know any of those teams off the top of my head, but there's going to be a surprising coach out there that's probably fired or is going to say that he wants to move on to a different challenge, a different team. And I think the coach for that is going to be Mike Tomlin, because yes, he's had a winning record every year with the Steelers, but I just don't think he can get the most out of this team anymore. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Ben?
What's that?
Do you think that that Mike Tomlin can get the most out of the Steelers football team?
I can, but I think they need a change. I think they need a culture shifter if they obviously want to be, because it's basically they're stuck in mediocrity. That's kind of how they are right now as a franchise. So
no, you're absolutely right.
If they want to be like that, then keep them. But I think that it's kind of very similar to the Patriots and Belichick. All good things have to come to an end.
Yeah,
Just
but the great thing for you was you only endured a year of mediocrity with
Belichick.
Jared Mayo.
Yeah. Well,
And then, but honestly, let me say this: when I found out that Mayo was fired, and then started looking at the list of head coaching candidates, the only reason that Mayo was fired was because of the fact that Mike Vrabel became available because he was a consultant for the Browns. If Vrabel wasn't, was still under contract with the Browns for like another year or whatsoever, you probably would have had to endure another year of Jared Mayo or whatever.
I'm glad we didn't.
I can agree with you because honestly,
could be where we are right now without
you would not be. No, you wouldn't even be close. You wouldn't have had the type of free agency that you had. You wouldn't have had the type of draft that you had because, in my personal opinion, the two best teams that had the best drafts, and this is honestly bias aside, I'm gonna say was the Bears and the Patriots. I do personally believe that. I mean, I loved what the Patriots. It took a little while to get Hendrickson going, but now he's looking great.
He's got an opportunity, Al Gibson. So,
I mean, yeah, and it took the same way with Colston Loveland, but tight ends are always one of the hardest positions to transition into in an NFL offense. Usually, they take a year to fully come into their own if your name isn't Sam Laporta or Brock Bowers. But sometimes you just need a couple weeks to adjust. And Colston Loveland, everyone was clowning us for taking him over Tyler Warren, but Colston Loveland has looked better than Tyler Warren the last couple weeks, and it's like considerably better. It's not just by a little margin. It's a big one, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. We got about 5 minutes left.
Yep, about 5 minutes. So I mean, usually this would be around the time where we would get
ready for red zone.
Get to see the red zone in the background, but sadly that has come to an end because playback shut down because they weren't making enough money. Is that why?
It was a money issue, yeah. Yep.
How is it a money issue? I mean,
they were competing with a lot of streaming platforms, I guess. Which I get.
Peacock being one of them. Whatever. Whatever streaming services everyone uses, for sure. I have to say, it sucks that it sucks that it's not here anymore, but we can't help it when these things happen. Well, actually, there is some little news that just popped up here. Roma Dunze aggravated his foot, so he is actually out today. So, which yeah. So there's wide receiver Roma Dunze, who is officially active, is being rolled out after aggravating his foot. Bad news right before kickoff. I don't think that's as bad as people.
They probably don't want to also have him like on a really crazy cold surface playing field.
Absolutely. Honestly, my concern for him being able to play was more about next week and not this week, because I personally believe that the Bears will, I don't want to say like easily win this game, but it's not, this offense isn't the thing that worries me with the Browns. It's the defense. I don't think that the Browns will be able to score a lot of points, because like everyone's talking about how they scored 31 or 29 or 31 points last week. They did it against the Titans and still lost, right? Or did they win? Did the Browns win last week?
No, they lost. They lost, but because they went for that 2 at the end of the game and they didn't get it.
Yeah, the Browns lost last week. They did score 29 points, but I mean, they still lost to the Titans, which the Titans are not great. So, I mean, I would rather have Odunze play next week against the Packers when it's for the division, rather than, I don't want to say this is a useless game, because it's not. I mean, but I'd rather him come back against the Packers, because that's the bigger game that matters. So, I did take him out of my lineup for one league. So I gotta, but let me actually make sure that I take him out of all my leagues, just because I think I have him in most of them. DJ Moore. Okay, that's okay. Okay, yep, I gotta flex him out. I will put Bannon in. Yeah,
I think we're almost there, Grant.
Yeah, we're almost there. Yeah. So, I'll end it at like, we're gonna end now, because it's we gotta get it on our TVs. So have a good slate today, Ben, and I hope everyone that is watching has a good start to their fantasy playoffs. Have a good one, everybody.
Take care, guys.